Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
And welcome to Pattaya, welcome to Thailand, and of course welcome to the studio again. And of course, as per normal in the Talking Heads studio, at the top of the table, the man himself in control, pushing all the buttons.
You're in
today.
control. I thought
you're in control.
Everybody's in control.
You've got the delete button. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, we've got some celebrities in today. These are from Celebrity Inc., so we've got to be on our best behaviour.
Yes.
All right, because they're in the know. Welcome to the studio, Matt. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. Thanks. Good for having us.
You are a virgin to the studio, I believe.
I'm a virgin. It's my first time. First time.
I bet you've not said that in years. Sophie, welcome to the studio. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a bit nervous.
Look at this. We've got a gorgeous girl in the studio. That's brightened our day up.
Wow.
I've even brought the duck in for you. Look, chicken can stay out of it today. Nice to have you on board, guys.
Thank you.
Easy today. Nice and steady, as we say. But first of all, Celebrity Inc. Let's go right to that. Right. What is Celebrity Inc.?
So, Celebrity Inc. is the biggest tattoo brand in the world. Biggest, most well-renowned, in my opinion, the best reputation. So we've been around about 7 years, originated in 2013. Small shop in Phuket, 3 beds, 4 artists. And we've grown into, like I said, the biggest tattoo brands in the world. Over 300 employees. We're in 10 different countries, 31 studios.
That's not a bad start, is it, Bobby?
That's pretty good.
That makes
man.
me
I'm
feel
impressed.
very minute.
Organized.
And Sophie, what about you? I mean, where do you sort of fit into this this tattooing?
I'm the head manager, so I'm always at the studio. If you ever want to come in, I'm always there. I'm always free to talk. Whatever ideas you have, whatever design you want, I'm always there. I'll understand what you want. I'll then ask the artist to kind of help me with the designs and translation. So yeah, it's pretty easy.
Do you ever, guys? I mean, before we go on, because we've got loads of questions and we want to go loads of different places today. What I want to ask you is just one question that I've always wanted to ask tattooists. Have you ever had anybody come in and they've asked you to tattoo something and you've gone in your head, what the
100%. I've had this drunk Australian guy, and I'm like
drunk,
proper drunk, and he comes in and he's like, I want a camel, and I'm thinking, oh dear, where's he gonna put this? And he goes, I want a camel on my toe, and I'm thinking,
on my toe?
Why have you done that? Yeah, camel toe. I'm thinking,
the things you see at
a tattoo studio, it's unbelievable.
I mean, tell me if this is true. I want to ask one of these questions I've got on here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got loads to ask you because I'm very intrigued by everything, and of course we'll delve into it a little bit more. According to a survey, more women in the United States take a friend with them when they go and have a tattoo. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, I want to say that's kind of true because we have the same thing over here. I think women are a bit kind of more scared or reluctant to come into the studio because it's a lot of, everyone's got tattoos. You're kind of scared a bit, but I think women are always the tend of, come with me.
The one thing that I've learned, and I mean, you'll probably go with me on this one, Matt, the one thing I've learned around the world traveling, and I would imagine Bobby has as well, is when they see a big guy, and he's covered in tattoos, the misconception.
100%.
You agree, Matt, yeah?
What do you think the misconception is?
The misconception is they look at you and you think you're an angry guy and you're going to rip their head off and shit down their neck. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I think that does get taken out of context. Like, people will see me, and after they talk to me for a minute or two, they say, oh, you're a big teddy bear. But when I saw you, you looked like a tiger.
Yeah.
So, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from. And I've found that around the world because I have met loads of people around the world that basically got covered in tattoos, head to toe, big guys, like musicians that we know, Bobby, and people like this. And as soon as, like you say, as soon as you go up to them and you go, hi, my name's Dave. Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
You don't expect what comes out of their mouth to how you do it, and they are big teddy bears.
Yeah, for sure. So like for me, you would never know it, but back before I came to Thailand, before I got into tattooing, I was a banker. So when I tell people that, hey, I was a banker, and they look at me now, covered from my neck to my feet in tattoos, they can't believe it. But
I wouldn't believe it.
You wouldn't believe it, though, would you?
I'd be like, no chance.
I've come into your bank to see you and look at you now. I've come to make a deposit.
It's like, wait, are you security? What are you doing here? Are you robbing the place?
Yeah, you're robbing or you're security. What do you think that tattoos are for the younger generation, or this is to either of you? I mean, and you both can answer one at a time. Do you think that the tattoos are for the younger generation, or are the older generation joining in?
I think both. I think definitely both. I think there's a lot more older people now coming into the studio wanting portraits of their family, cover-ups of, some really shitty tattoos that they had in the past.
We've all done that.
Everyone's done it. Everyone.
That was one of the first things I made a mistake when I first came to Bobby. When I first came to Thailand, I had a girl's name in Thai on my arm. And then she dumped me about 4 months after that. And I looked at my arm going,
I need to cover up.
Gotta cover it. Cover it.
So what do you think, Matt? Do you think it's...
okay, so like I got my first work done about 15 years ago. And I think about 15 years ago when I would go into the studios, it was all younger people. My parents were, "Oh, Matt, what are you doing?" My mom cried after I got my first tattoo.
What was your first tattoo?
It was a tribal scorpion on my shoulder, which I've actually now covered up and turned into a skull. So it's this one.
Okay, and that was your
the first one. I was 18.
18.
Yeah. So I think back then it was more younger, but I think as time has went on, it's mixed. It's 50-50 now.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad got his first tattoo. He's 60.
Wow.
He got a big.
Was that on his bucket list?
No, I never in my life would I would have thought that he would be the one to go and do it, but he ended up getting a big Grim Reaper tattoo on his back.
Like it, yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, I didn't expect it. This is
60. That's cool, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
that makes him
about
cool.
a year ago.
What about the girls stuff? I mean, what are they going for? I mean, the ladies, the girls. What kind of things?
It's the normal flowers. It's the normal, rose, some watercolor, some animals. It's the normal, typical kind of girls. But like, you see more older women are going for the more kind of realistic kind of, men have more realistic, bigger pieces. Like how Matt even said, skull pieces. I see loads of older women coming in with, wanting skulls and death. And I'm just like, wow, it's just, you never know.
No.
You just don't know.
What about like the cover-ups? I mean, do you get a lot of people coming in for cover-ups, yeah?
All the time.
Yeah,
Every week.
what kind of things are you covering up? I mean...
Tribal.
Yeah. What do you mean by tribal?
So I want to say like people who got tribal back in the early 2000s, it's just hard squiggle lines basically.
Hang on.
I think you maybe, do you know, oh no, do you have one?
Seriously, I don't even know if that's, is this an old tribal?
Let's see.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Is that good or bad?
This one that I have.
Oh, he's got one.
Yeah, he's got one.
I don't feel so bad now. I'm with Matt.
So this is about 10, 15 years ago. It was the in thing to do.
It is, yeah.
Everybody goes and gets these tribals. But now we're all getting these mandala tattoos,
Okay. All right. Okay.
So who knows? Maybe that'll be the next one.
So
to be covered.
So let me get this right. Can I say, do people have fads? You understand that? Do people have fads? Do they have is it fashion that's changing?
Trendy?
I think,
trendy?
Yeah, I
trendy?
think maybe in the younger generation it might be a little bit more trendy because you've got, Pinterest, you've got Tumblr, you've got Instagram, and they're kind of looking at all the other different influencers, having all these different tattoos.
I mean, when I look at that on your arm, right,
Yeah.
the tiger, right, I can remember... Now I can remember over 42 years ago.
Yeah.
My friend had the same kind of thing in the UK. Yeah, those were the things. If you remember, I don't know if you've seen them out. There was the tiger that was in, and also there was the panther with the snake around it.
That's still
traditional
Yeah,
style.
they were like
and it's still
all the rage.
Still the rage.
Yeah, so like what she has, that's traditional style, but with like a Thai spin. It's kind of like the Thai traditional.
I can remember at school it was like none of us had tattoos, yeah, and we all wanted a tattoo. So there was this guy who was pretty good at an artist, yeah, and I remember what he had. He had Scale Electric, the cars.
Yeah.
He had the motor from that. It had a shaft of a pen, a needle on the end, Indian ink that it got.
Yeah.
And he was in the toilets putting little tattoos on everybody. We're all like proud, and we all had like.
Do you still have it?
We had this one here. This one here was done in the mirror by a self-made,
That's awesome.
But we all did it. It was like it was a trend, and we felt bigger.
You thought, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rite of passage.
Yeah, we
got to make this self tattoo.
Yeah,
right
we
here.
weren't like a gang or anything like that. We were just a group of guys that hung around together and had a laugh.
You're bored one day. You're like, well, may as well just do this.
In the toilet.
Yeah, in the toilet. Very hygienic.
I don't know what people used to think though. They'd walk in the toilet and the door was closed and they walk in and all they could hear was.
Got the tattoo gun going.
What are you gonna think?
These days it wouldn't come under the ending of the Indian ink, would it? How about working with tattoo artists that are basically from Thailand and they're not Westerners? How does that go down, Matt?
You know, it's great. I mean, these guys are so easy to work with. I've worked with Western artists in the past back in the States, as far as my own tattoos. And you get a lot of pushback. You know, you want a custom design. They don't want to design something. That's just been my personal experience. But working with the Thai artists, they're so open. They're so easy with custom designs. You tell them to do something, they make it work. They're just so, they're just able to implement ideas so well.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have 5 different artists. Each artist specializes in a different style.
Okay.
So, for example, if somebody comes in and they want something like a Japanese tattoo, I'll go to a different artist than if somebody wants, let's say, like a realistic tiger or a portrait. So, you know, that's just something that we have the luxury of having all these artists, so we can match them with the right customer. And, you know, working with these guys is great.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Super easy.
Super easy.
Yeah,
The ones that I've been looking at, which I think is good, I mean, it's, you know, the really, really stand out to me are the ones where they make it look as though your legs cut away and then inside, it's
like
the metal.
Muscle. Oh,
Yeah.
biomechanical.
Yeah.
But isn't that cool, eh?
Yeah,
I mean,
really
some of them
cool.
are absolutely amazing. I mean, how long does it take? I mean, you guys will probably know. I mean, like, for a sleeve, yeah?
Yeah, full sleeve.
Is that what it's called?
We're going full sleeve.
Full sleeve round
Yeah.
here. I mean, how long does that normally take?
Yeah,
to
so if
sort
you
of
do a
that?
full sleeve, you're talking like from your wrist all the way up to your elbow, wrapping around the outside and the inside of your arm. We would need about 4 days for that. About 4 days.
4 days.
4 days, about 5 to 8 hours per day, depending on how long the person can sit for. Everybody's pain tolerance is different. But on average, 4 days.
Yeah. Depending on kind of the design as well. If it's more of a less detailed design, then it's probably gonna, you know, not be as long. But if it's a very detailed and specific design, then sometimes it can go over 6 days. It also just depends on the customer's pain tolerance.
Yeah, certain things like color. If it's a color tattoo with a lot of different colors, a lot of different detail.
Is that popular now, though?
Yeah.
Is it still popular?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just go for the black tattoos, don't they?
Nah, a lot more people are getting
Give
colours.
colour. Okay.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot more.
yeah.
I
Interesting.
think
Interesting.
women still going for a lot of the colours, but now we're seeing a lot of more older men having the colours.
What's the oldest you've tattooed?
I want to say like 60 something.
60 something.
60
You better
something.
be nice because I'm approaching there. I don't want to be 60 something.
I don't know the exact. I don't know the exact oldest person we've tattooed, but I mean, hell, we get people in the 60s in the studio all the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty common.
Do you think, I mean, in your opinion, only your opinion, and everybody has their opinion, and everybody's got the right to say what
Yeah.
they think. Do you think tattoos can go too far? In your opinion? Your opinion.
In my opinion, yes.
Matt?
In my opinion, no.
Okay.
Not personally, but they can change the way other people will look at you. I've noticed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
The way people treat you and the way they talk to you.
Yep.
look, for me, you know, I'm covered now. Like
Yep,
I said,
yep.
you know, you see my neck is tattooed. I love it. For me, it's not too far. If I walk into a bank and try to apply for a bank job again, it might be too far to the person interviewing me.
Yeah.
So again, it's a person-to-person thing. For me, no, I don't think you can go too far, but some people might.
My outtake on this is
Yeah.
exactly what you've just said, but the way I look at it is everybody is their self and everybody is their own canvas.
Right,
And
right.
whatever
100%.
painting they want to put on themselves
Exactly.
is up to them.
It's
And if
completely
people
up to you.
like it, they like it. And if people don't like it, tough shit.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's
that's
as simple
how
as
I
that.
feel. That's
No?
exactly how I feel.
And that's how I feel about things. It was just a question because, you know, I know how people's opinions. It's amazing because there was something on YouTube that I watched which was very, very, very interesting. And I don't know if you've seen it. It was a social experiment
Oh,
of
with
a
the
guy.
woman?
It was the guy that was.
and they painted.
He had the tattoos all over his face.
The
and
skull.
You remember?
Yeah,
so a big
yeah, I know the
guy,
one.
yeah.
And then he just put the cream
Yeah.
on and he didn't have any tattoos. And he went in and they all
Yeah.
treated him really
Yeah.
nice. And then he took all the creams off and he walked in the same place again. And
I get
treated him
that.
like shit.
It could
I
be
get
a little
that.
intimidating.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
you know.
intimidating is the
Yeah.
word, yeah.
I sometimes have to wear like long sleeves if I'm out with Thai people because I don't know why Thai people, they always think, you know, I'm a half Thai girl, you should have no tattoos, you should have clean skin. Why do you have so many dirty tattoos? And I'm kind of like,
Yeah, but why? My answer to that is
why should I care?
why should you?
Yeah.
But
why should you?
You know, for me personally, I've never had one negative experience about my tattoos. Every single experience I have is all positive.
Cool.
You know, if I go walking through a disco or a nightclub, it's nonstop girls asking me, "Hey Matt, where did you get your tattoos done? Hey, I like that tattoo. I like the gorilla on your neck. Oh, I like this."
But I think today
It's,
today is more it's more acceptable today.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back in time a little bit, it wasn't that more acceptable.
Definitely.
But like I said, I only believe that it's my canvas, and if I want to do what I want with it, that's up to me.
True.
For sure.
True, but it does change people's perception.
It does.
of what you are.
It really does. I think for me, from my experience, it's mostly like older women that are kind of like, "Why have you tattooed yourself?" And I'm kind of like, "Well, this is my body. It's not on yours, is it? How is it affecting you?"
It's called freedom of rights.
Exactly.
Is that right, Bobby?
Be free.
Just be free.
But Bobby likes the freeness.
You know, for me, I've noticed my tattoos are like a conversation starter because whenever I'm out, if I'm with friends,
This is where I was going.
I'm always getting people asking about, "Hey, where did you get this done? What does this mean? Hey, I like the tattoo on your head." Like, it's a conversation. Even when I don't want to talk to somebody, it's going to start a conversation because they're going to ask me about
I've started, believe it or not, over the years, I've started a lot of conversations like that. You know, there's a big guy who's into blah, 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 and I'm DJing or whatever, and I see him, like, "Yo, man," and he come over and say, "When did you get that done?" And then it starts.
Yeah.
You know, the old days, you know, we tried to chat girls up, no disrespect. But now we can just say, "When did you get that tattoo?"
Easy way in.
It's an easy way in.
Celebrity Ink.
Oh yeah, we had a great night. Here's my number, by the way. What about competitions? I do know that there's a lot of competitions worldwide when it comes to tattoos, and I know that you've got your branches all over the world. I mean, do you go to these competitions, and are you represented at these competitions?
So we've got a lot of Bangkok Expos competitions. So we've been in some recently, but I think due to Corona, none of it's happening anymore. But Celebrity Ink, we used to be in kind of basically every expo or every competition, and we always placed around first to second place. Worldwide, you know.
Is there anybody? I mean, you know, of course, with all these branches, is there anybody that's sort of like the top of the tree who you would stand out and say he's the main sort of tattoo artist, or would you say, in all fairness, everybody is there in their own right?
Well, you know what they usually do with the competitions is it'll be like first place, second place, third place for best realistic style or best Japanese style.
Yeah.
So we have different artists that stand out in different styles. Like for example, we have one of the top guys in my opinion in the entire country.
Yeah.
Always takes first place for his realism. So it'll be like portraits or basically anything that's just realistic style. So it could be animals,
Could be
tigers,
faces.
portraits, things like that.
Which I do
anything.
like.
Yeah.
I do like when they get it right. It looks phenomenal.
yeah.
When they get it wrong,
So going back to cover-ups, that's what we see a lot of. We see a lot of mistakes. We get people that went to a shop because either it was cheap or they heard about it from a friend. They go in, they get a good price, it's really cheap. They say, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it." And then the very next day, they're in our studio
saying, "Please help
me."
Yeah.
You know, so we get that a lot.
wanted a portrait to the wife but got a Smurf. Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen it before.
Got the girlfriend
Don't
instead.
laugh because it happens.
Does that really look like me? No. Yeah.
A little bit.
We've seen some nightmares.
Yeah.
But we do our best to fix them up.
What about competitions in Patra? Has there been any yet?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, there was. There was a competition. The last competition in Pattaya was over at Central Marina. So,
The wet t-shirt one?
Wet t-shirt. What? I missed that.
Where's this?
Where was this, Bobby?
Hang on, there must be something else.
Rewind.
No, it was at Central Marina. We were there. Fuck, I mean,
That was ages ago.
yeah, it was maybe about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year or 2 years ago, something like that.
That when we first kind of started the whole company, the whole
well, that was
Celebrity
when
Inc.
Celebrity Ink Pattaya opened.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, and they did that competition, Central Marina. But I think that was the last one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The wet T-shirt sounds good.
I'm into the t-shirts. I
have a question.
Yeah, go on.
You know the movie Hangover?
Yeah.
When that movie came out, I mean, there was some tattoo scenes in there. Does that have an effect on your business, on your flow? People come in and
Has anybody ever asked for that?
like a trend?
Well, no.
No, I've never seen that.
It'll be funny though, because it's something to talk about then. Because I love Hangover. The movie Hangover is just top tier. But I'm guessing you're talking about the scene where he's got the
Mike Tyson tattoo
the
on
Mike
the face,
Tyson.
yeah.
No, we haven't had that.
Okay.
No.
No.
But does your tattoo business go up or down if something's on the TV or film wise?
No, I don't think so.
So nothing's influenced by that.
Nah, I don't think so at this point. I mean, our name is out there. You know,
people know us.
Yeah,
Cool.
When
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. You know, we have hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook and Instagram, so everybody knows when they're coming on holiday, they know to come to us.
Yeah.
Good.
And then, you know, as far as pricing, tattoos in Thailand are going to be a little bit cheaper priced just because of the market here than they will be in somewhere like America or Australia.
But that's like anybody. I mean, you know, they're living in America or Australia, wherever. They come over to Thailand, they come to Bangkok, and they go there for all their cosmetic surgery, their boob jobs and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
like that's just cost of living here is
cost
cheaper,
of
so
living.
everything's going to be cheaper.
yeah, sure.
Yep.
But it's worth it. I mean, if they're coming on a holiday and they come to you guys to get what they want as well, I mean, they're killing two birds with one stone. It's
100%.
Absolutely.
Have an awesome holiday, go home with
A
an
sick
amazing tattoo that you would
yeah.
have paid 2 to 3 times as much for in the States. It's
Now,
like,
I'm
it's a
going
no-brainer.
to throw something on the table here because I know from a couple of stories we've done in the past on Patio One, of course, and that is I know that you guys only use the real stuff, the real deal ink.
Yeah, all American ink. It's vegan. It's animal friendly as well. A lot of studios in Thailand use Thai Chinese ink.
Yes, they do.
And it just fades away so quickly. And it sometimes leaves you with bleeding, which means the ink has then spread inside your skin. So we don't want that to happen ever. So that's why we've made sure that we're using the best ink possible. So you get the best quality.
Very important, yeah.
Quality over anything, basically.
In my day, it was Indian ink.
Indian
in my
ink?
day, yeah, Indian ink in my day. I remember my father was on the ships, and his tattoo was of a sailor and an anchor, and that was done with a knife.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Bet that
And
hurt.
That's gnarly.
And Indian ink. It was carved into the.
Okay, here's the thing. So you have a tattoo like that, right? And it might not be visually pleasing, but it doesn't matter because you tell the story behind that, and that's freaking awesome.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you see this tattoo? Oh, it doesn't look beautiful. I did this with a fucking knife. Like,
My
come on, that's awesome.
my dad wasn't a tattoo man, but God rest his soul, he wasn't a tattoo man. But he said to me, "So you see that we're on this ship and we were down at Ossett and and all my mates and I had one as well. He got the knife out. And
Yeah.
Whoa,
Wow, Dad.
Pops, whoa,
Yeah, that's
You're the
gnarly.
awesome.
See, that tattoo has a good story behind it. I like that.
Well, I think that's the one of the things as well. I mean, you know, there's the fashion side of it, but there's also the travel side of it.
Yeah.
Of course, people that do travel do get tattoos in different places, don't
Yeah,
they? 'Cause
100%. We've had that
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
do you ever admire some of the tattoos that have been done as well?
Yeah, 100%. If some people come in with like really sick tattoos from, I think mostly Asian countries
Sick
again.
by, you mean
Sick by amazing.
amazing? And we
Yeah.
got to like you because some of the people, you know, some of the people are a bit older than you, so we have to. By the way, this is available in Braille tomorrow. Joking.
But no, like, you know, some Japanese people, like they come in with Japanese like big tattoos, and we're just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, just different tattoos.
What
from
about
different
full body
places.
tattoos? I mean, people do have it.
We have that.
From the neck all the way down
Yeah.
to the.
That's
but they
what I'm
stop-
trying to do.
They stop at the. Yeah.
So no one can see, you
Yeah.
know, for the job.
Is that what you're trying to do? Are you? Because I've noticed that you don't have too much color on you, though, do you?
No, for me personally, I'm trying to do like it's a project. It takes time.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so I'm going from my chin all the way down to my feet, and I'm pretty much almost fully done with my upper body. I have very little bit left, and then I'll be going on to the lower body. But for me, it's just a project. I want when I'm naked, I want full just everything done.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, except for certain area, a certain area.
I was going to ask.
Thank you.
yeah, but sure.
I know you were going to ask it.
Yeah. Do any men have them tattooed?
Women, some women. I've had a few women.
I've seen the women because they're butterflies and things like that, don't they? I've seen that in
Yeah,
the past.
they've got a
Actually,
few
actually,
flowers.
some of them look very nice. to
Okay,
be honest.
so I do have a story. It's a quick one.
No, don't take your time.
And I won't
Take your time.
blow up his name, but if he's listening, he will know.
And he's going to kill you after.
He might, I don't know. So we're sitting around the bar one day, and there's about 5 or 6 of us. We're having some drinks, and a guy we're with says, "Hey Matt, what was your most painful tattoo?" I said, probably this one on my neck. I said it hurt a lot. And then one of my other buddies, again, I'm not going to say his name. Ash.
What's his name? Joking.
So he goes, the most, and bear in mind, he doesn't have any tattoos. You can't see visually, nothing. He's got no tattoos on.
Interesting.
So I'm thinking, what the hell? He says, the most painful tattoo ever. It's on your dick. And I'm thinking, are you joking? And he stands up, again, doesn't have a single tattoo anywhere on his body, takes off his pants,
Oh no.
reveals his
Old man.
tattooed old man.
Yeah. What's he got on it?
And
Don't tell me it's an elephant.
it was a cartoon. It was a picture of a cartoon, but it was a cartoon caterpillar. But the story behind it is that it was an ex-girlfriend's name.
Oh.
And then
There we go,
they
there's the
broke up,
cover up.
So he had to cover it.
I had one when I was younger, Bobby. I had one put on there when I was younger,
Okay, keep going.
Austria. Every time I got excited, it said Australia.
Oh no. Oh no.
And there was a barcode.
Oh no, even worse.
I like that though. So he had it was a cover up, was it?
Yeah. Well, it was the ex-girlfriend's name.
How can you put an ex-girlfriend's name on your dick? I mean,
Right.
Well, I guess
What's all that about?
It was his girlfriend at the time. Who knows? I don't know. But I just.
Yeah, but can you
I
imagine
was
their
shocked. I was
conversation?
Imagine the pain as well.
My
Yeah.
jaw was my jaw hit the floor. I said, I can't believe you have this on your.
Can you
junk."
imagine that, Bobby? That's only for me, and if you want to do it to me, you won't put my name on it. You put my name on it. That's mine. Well,
My property.
I would have never have that done, would you? No.
Anyway,
forget that.
it was a good laugh.
I like that. I bet it was
I
caterpillar.
I love tattoos with stories behind them. If I love every tattoo, but if it's got a story behind it, then you just can't beat that.
I had a little bit of a fact here. I like that story, by the way. Thanks a lot for that. I had a little bit of a question for you here, which I found pretty interesting. I mean, it said here that, tell me if I'm right, your skin is pierced between 50 and 3,000 times per minute by a tattoo machine.
Most
Is
likely.
that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Most
mean,
likely, yes.
Yeah.
So certain needles that we use, like
Yeah.
for example, if they're doing the outline, it will be a single needle. But when they're doing shading on bigger pieces,
It's multiple
I mean,
needles.
Yeah, I've
it's
seen that,
multiple
yeah.
needles.
To
You
cover
might
up
have,
more.
you might have 4, 6, or 8 needles going into your skin at once. And again, I mean, the tattoo guns, they're just rocking back and forth super
Yeah.
quick. So yeah, the skin's getting pierced.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
So let's go on to you guys. I mean, do tattoos hurt? For everybody that's out there, they've all got this fear. So do they hurt? I mean, this is me. I mean, we can all take it. You haven't got no tattoos, have you, Bobby? No. You sure? You haven't got one on your man?
Little caterpillar.
You sure you ain't got a caterpillar?
I have a butterfly down there.
Do tattoos hurt? Well, I'm going to say from my side first, and you two guys can talk because you're the experts. From my side, depends where it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. It depends on the spot. I mean, for me, my arm, I sat through this whole thing 8 hours, no problem. I just did my back. And yeah, I had trouble with it. It hurt. The back hurt.
That's interesting.
Like close down to my ass. There must have been a lot of nerves.
Have you done your ass yet?
That's next.
Are you going to do
My
that?
ass is next, yeah.
Does it hurt on there? It
Yeah.
must do.
I've heard that
Well, the
ass
spine
hurts.
ends right there, right? So
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what it was. When he got because it's done right now, like down to my ass crack. And when he got down, like to that area,
coccyx.
yeah, like I started like the coccyx. When he hit that, I immediately I started sweating. That was one of the worst areas for me.
Wow.
But as far as other spots, like on your chest, anywhere where you're exposed to the sun or where you have a lot of meat, like your arms, your shoulder, they don't hurt at all. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just feels like annoying, like a cat scratch. But
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Going over and over
Over and over again.
but
Over and over.
certain areas that have a lot of nerves.
What do you think is the most painfulest place? What do you think?
I want to say, for me, I've got one on my shin. I've got a really big one on my shin. And when it came up to the point close to my knee, I was like, wow.
To your knee?
Yeah, my
Okay.
knee. I was like, wow, this is painful. This is absolutely really fucking painful.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah.
I had to tell them to stop. I had to take a break. I was like, wow, I can't do this anymore. So I just want to say the knee or like the elbow, the back, that's really painful, or your inner thigh because it's really sensitive.
Do they still, years and years, I'm only talking from experience. I mean, years and years ago when I went and had a couple of tattoos in the UK, they used to put some like numbing gel on you.
Yeah.
Do they still use that today?
So we don't really want to suggest it because it does affect the quality of the tattoo at
Okay,
the end of
that's
the day.
interesting, yeah.
So it's harder for the artist to then tattoo your skin because the skin will then have a thick
Interesting.
layer over it so you can't feel anything.
Yeah.
But then the artist is kind of like, well, it's kind of hard for me to actually put the needle in your skin because
It was a weird feeling. It was like, how can you say it? It was like when you go to the dentist and you get an injection in your
And you're
mouth,
like, what?
and you come out and you go, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's how my arm felt before he tattooed it. But I agree with what you're saying with the cream interfering with the tattoo, yeah?
Yeah, we don't recommend it because it can interfere.
Yeah.
Depends on the person.
Interesting.
It can interfere with the quality of the tattoo, but we do get a request to use it a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people that are scared. Look, if it's a big tattoo, if you're going to be sitting there for 8 hours, day after day after day, I get it, I understand, but again, we don't recommend it, especially if it's for a smaller tattoo. Just the pain is part of the fun. Like, enjoy it, embrace it, do it.
Have a drink of water. Just have a break for a second. We'll come straight back. Stay with us.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand, with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
Back in the studio, back into Pattaya, and of course back into the Talking Head studio, and joining us, of course, live today around the world at the head of the table, Concord, steering all the buttons. Bobby, welcome back. Good so far, mate?
I have a question for you guys.
Yep.
Do you guys, when you choose an artist, do you stick with that artist, or do you kind of move around and choose other artists, or are you faithful to one guy or one girl?
So like if someone has one job to do and then they finish that job and the customer likes them, then we will continue using them. But let's say, for example, you've used the artist that's good with realistic and now you want Mandela. We will then give you the best Mandela artist, We won't just say, here's one artist, you're going to just stay with them. Now, we allocate.
You know who's out there and what they're best.
Exactly. We allocate the best artist for your design.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah?
Yeah.
You're right with that, Bobby?
I'm all right.
Did you like that one?
I did.
When we're talking about pain threshold, I mean, and we just before we had a little bit of a quick break there, I mean, you said people are scared.
Yeah.
Scared of what? Because they've never had one before, or
they're
having it?
It'll be a first timer, somebody that will come in, and not to be sexist, but it's usually women. What do you think,
Matt.
Sophie?
It is kind of normally women that are kind of scared.
They'll but then again, they take a look at me and they see that I'm from the neck down, and I say, look at me. I said, if I could do this, trust me, you'll be okay.
Same here.
You'll
if I
make
can
it
do
through
this
little tattoo, you'll
anyone
be okay.
can.
Would you agree with this? Statistics say, this is only statistics, they say at the moment more women are getting tattooed than men. Would you agree with that?
I think it's pretty even.
Yeah?
I'd say, I don't know, I think maybe 50.
Like in terms of our studio, we have 50-50.
I think we probably tattoo a little bit more men because we're in Pattaya. This is more of a male-dominant city. But I think, like I've done work for the Celebrity Ink Studio in Bangkok, and Bangkok was definitely 50-50. Even might have been more women.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there is an age restriction, of course. What is the age restriction in Thailand? Is it the same, 18?
16, 18.
16?
I think it's
16, 18?
Might be 16.
16 in Thailand, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure on that one. So, I mean, we can look up that one. Can we look up that one? Yeah, we'll find that one out, yeah? What the age restriction is and everything. Because it varies, I would imagine.
It does.
It varies. I asked you a question before you came on air today, which I found very interesting. And I mean, I wasn't trying to be clever because I didn't know. It was just a couple of things that I wanted to write down because, Matt, you like it and it looks brilliant on you and all this and so forth. And we've all got a tattoo.
Yeah.
I asked you a question. The oldest discovery proof of tattooing dates back to what year? And you said, Matt.
And it's funny because this is being around tattoos, working with tattoos, being nearly fully tattooed myself. I should know this, but I don't.
What did you say,
I
Matt?
was guessing like it had to be something like I would have said I'm from America, but then I'm thinking about it. That's probably a stupid answer because.
You're digging a hole there.
Way long ago. I was thinking like military, something Navy or Army, but
you're thinking what year?
1920, 1940?
Well, 1700s.
1700s, okay.
I said 1800s, but you said I was way off.
Listen to this. And you've got tattoos all over you, and I've got tattoos on me, and we've all got tattoos here. This is interesting, okay? The oldest discovery of proof of tattooing dates back to 3250 BC.
Wow. That's interesting. It's come a long way.
Now, this is something that, I was really intrigued with. Now,
I'm trying to think. Now
Yeah,
my
same.
head's spinning, and I'm like,
well,
wow.
listen to this. This was discovered.
BC.
This was discovered on a body that was frozen in the ice,
Wow.
found beneath the glacier in the Alps.
Wow.
That's
So
very
you
strange.
work. So you worked that one out
So what year was it? What year?
before we were born, mate.
Way before.
I'm trying to think. So 3200 BC, you said, right?
33,250
So like, what was
BC.
going on around
Yeah.
that time?
What was
Let's
going
think
on?
back to history.
I don't know
my
if
history
you
lessons.
if you want me to bring you more up to date and say where did it start to catch on?
Yeah.
Okay. If you remember Captain Cook.
Yeah.
Okay. Captain Cook and his crew sailed into Polynesia in 1769, and many of the crew decided to have tattoos done on the island, and that's
Right.
how they brought them back to the
Yeah.
Westerners, and that gives you sort of an idea. But that's the oldest discovery of a tattoo,
Wow, that's
which
ages ago.
I find absolutely amazing.
I'm curious to know like what age that was from. Like if it was
Oh,
or
fro-
where
I don't know.
where was the body found? Did they
The
think?
Alps.
It was in the,
The
it
Alps.
was it was in the glacier. It was somebody that fell into the ice, frozen in time, and
That's crazy.
and dragged out, and he had a tattoo on him.
Wow.
Or tattoos. Pretty impressive, that, isn't
Very.
it?
That's amazing.
And here's one for you. In certain cultures around the world, still used today, urine is used in tattoos.
Wow. You learn something
What
new
is
every
it?
day.
Urine.
Urine.
Pee.
Urine.
Yeah.
Pee.
Urine,
really?
pee.
Yeah, they put pee in it because they use it as an anaesthetic.
Ah,
In
interesting.
certain cultures around the
Yeah.
world. Yeah. So it's interesting.
First time I've heard that one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I'm a bit like, ooh.
I mean, you know, I'm just trying to. It's something that.
Train.
Wow,
Is
that's
that
the
a train?
train.
That's
Wow,
the
that
train.
sounds heavy in there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
can
sounded
feel
like
it.
that sounded like an earthquake, didn't it?
What's going on out there?
It's the guy in the glazier going, no,
He's like, no, don't tell my secrets.
Yeah, so that doesn't sound sanitary though. Urine in the tent.
I'm
sounds
only,
like infection.
I'm only.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt
Yeah,
it.
neither.
I'm only going to. It says that the tattoos, you know, the things I'm just trying to, because it was interesting, you know, with the tattoos, it sort of set something off in motion. It was just interesting that it was set off through the sailors, through Captain Cook and his sailors, and then that sort of like everybody wanted to get one,
Yeah.
and that's when it became more trendy. Did you guys ever? I mean, you said your dad had a tattoo. What, 60?
Yeah.
So
his
he
first
must have
tattoo.
friends that have got tattoos.
I think that's what happened. So about a year ago, he joined like he joined like an MC, like a motorcycle club, and a lot of I think the guys. And my dad's a retired doctor, so think about
Retired
this.
doctor?
Yeah. So think
Okay.
about this for the last 40, 50 years, he's been around, you know, doctors and probably not as many people with tattoos. Now he goes joins a motorcycle club. He's probably around a lot of friends. All these guys have tattoos. So yeah, you know the influence it wears off on you.
Do you think that some people only get tattoos for a fashion and then regret it after?
I think sometimes.
I think people do get them for fashion, whether
Yeah.
they regret them or not. I don't really know.
You know,
It's,
because there is. We used to do it at school. It's like, well, my mate's got one, so I want one, and
Yeah,
then we all
my
get-
mates are
we're-
smoking. I'll smoke.
Yeah, I'll smoke.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, that's only a very small percentage of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people today, Matt, as you know, and so a lot of people today, it is body art.
Yeah.
It's a canvas. It's a portrait. It's
Yeah.
it's you know, and a lot of times it tells their story, which I like. You know, you meet guys. Same as is it the Japanese where they have them done on their body and it tells a story from when they were
Yeah.
born to when they're older.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that
yeah,
right, Matt?
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that?
It's like a flow of story in Japanese culture, which is super cool because it actually tells a story, and the colors that they use just make the story even better. Like you can physically
Because they have the sleeves. What's the sleeves called, Bobby? Kimono sleeves? Is that right? Am
is
I
that
saying
the fashion?
No, the kimono sleeve is...
Kimono.
Yeah, that's right. If you put the man and the woman's kimono sleeve together,
Yeah.
one is shorter than the other one.
Oh.
But when they come side by side, it's a story.
Joined up.
continuing across
Nice.
to there. And that's how they do a lot of tattoos on the women and the men.
It's traditional Japanese tattoos. It's what they tell the story of.
There you go.
Nowadays, it's not really that much, but in traditional Japanese culture, then yeah, it's more of a storyline.
There you go. We learned something.
There you
See,
go,
this
exactly.
is a history lesson, guys. I mean, come on. I mean, what about the guys, like we said, the people that come into your shop and they want a tattoo and they sit down or lay down or do whatever and they take the shirt or the pants off, wherever they're having it. Have you had anybody back out?
Maybe, nah, actually. A lot of breaks in between.
Nah, no, but I mean, you know, people will come in not knowing what they want.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And they'll just want to come in for designs. They'll want to look at things or talk, learn, and they'll leave. But I've never actually had somebody that's come in, left a deposit or created a design and then backed out.
Interesting.
Usually, when someone 100% of the time when someone comes in, they want something, they don't back out.
Do you think when they come into your shop, they have a misconception of what a tattoo is going to be and what it's going to be like?
Sometimes they come into their studio and they're just like, "Wow, I didn't expect this," because we've got a big chandelier just hanging there. Our place is fully clean. It's massive. There's mirrors everywhere. It's big. It's not grudgy looking.
Sounds like my bedroom in the 70s.
So yeah, I think people get the misconception of it's just a small tattoo shop. No. We're one of the biggest in Pasio, I think.
For us, quality, hygiene, cleanliness,
absolutely,
it's the most important.
Absolutely. Even more so these days.
Yeah. We're very, very, very meticulous about that. But as far as when people come in, I'd say about half the people come in with a design. They know what they want. And then the other half of the people come in, they might have either no idea at all, or they might have some reference photos and they want us to make something custom for them, which is no problem. Our artists love to do that.
A lot of people have, in my day, I don't know if they still do this, but when I was having stuff done, everybody used to have their names of their children on. I think, does that still happen today?
Yep,
still trendy.
Yep.
I think that's really nice to have all those kind of things.
We get mostly names or the date of birth in Roman numerals. Yeah. We get that a lot.
My daughter's she's got on the back of her neck, she's got the day she was born, a date, and then she's got the big star, and it goes right down to the little star. So it's like a
connect.
Connects her arse to her neck.
Nice.
It's nice though. She's doing well. One of the things I do like about this is what about the first tattoo machine? There you go. You see, I am teaching you things today, and I don't charge a lot.
So I don't think that the first tattoo machine. Well, I know that they use at least in Thai culture, they'll use bamboo. So I'd imagine the first things they probably used were sticks or knives to really make them.
True, absolutely true. But the first gun, the first machine, tattoo machine, was actually inspired by Thomas Edison.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the first one was in 1891. It was the first electric tattoo machine, and it was created and gaining inspiration from Edison's electric pen.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's something.
That's interesting. Yeah. It is interesting.
I remember reading the story as years back, but I think I remember reading that somewhere. It might have been in a tattoo magazine or an article somewhere, but I did hear
You wouldn't think
that.
of it. You wouldn't think of him as well. When you think of tattoo, you wouldn't think, Thomas
Yeah,
Edison.
but it was inspired. It was inspired from what he did. And he inspired a lot of things. The one thing I do like about tattoos, and as you know, Matt, besides just a conversation breaker, how are you? I like that. There's a story. There's always a story with guys, the older men. There's always a story. Like I've just told you about my dad.
Yeah.
There's always a story like you go, oh, that's a really. Oh, well, I got that when I was in.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation starter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Surely over the years you've met people and you've said, where did you get that?
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
All
the time. Whenever someone comes in, I'm always asking them, oh, that's a cool tattoo. Where'd you get that? And then they tell me a long story of how they got it, when they got it, how old they were. And I'm just like, this is why I kind of love working here, because you meet all different types of people with all different types of tattoos. And you learn something new every single day.
Where do you think tattoos are going now, Matt? Then where do you see it going in the designs? Do you see it going into more AI stuff? I can see that. That's on that side? Is that the Predator?
So this is a samurai warrior.
Okay.
My style is kind of all over, and I've sort of, as I've gotten older, I've changed what I've liked, and my styles have kind of changed. So, I have some Day of the Dead, Mexican themed. I have some Chicano, gangster style theme. I have some Japanese. I have some realism.
He's got everything.
I'm all over the place.
Can't he make his mind?
No, he can't.
So, all right, this is I'll notice this when someone comes in and they want to do just everything at once, which we do get. We get people that want to do both arms, they want to do a full back. They'll usually be one style. But people that have gotten multiple tattoos over many, many years, I do see a lot of mixed styles. And for example, like how I am.
Do you think? What do you think, Sophie? Is that for you, or do you? You've got what is this? What's
Mine's
happening?
a bit random.
You can say you're a bit random. You are. What's this at the top? What's that?
Oh my god! So
What do you mean? Oh my God!
This is my faces. I have my upper half arm just covered in faces.
And why is that? Tell us.
I'm just a bit weird. It's line faces, not realistic faces. It's line
all right.
faces.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And further down the arm.
I think this side is more kind of lined work, so it's a bit more easy, and then this side is more dot work, so it's a lot of little needles going in rather than.
Wait, hang on. Line work is what? Is that the outline?
Yeah,
pen of
just
what?
outline. You're just doing the outline. That's it.
And when you said.
And then we go to the right arm. We've got more dots and shading, more floral work. I've got flowers here. I've got flowers up here. I just got a bit of everything.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, and where do you want to go with it? I mean, do you want to end up doing like a sleeve or?
Yeah, I think I'm going for 2 leg sleeves and a full back. Maybe something on the stomach. I'm not too sure yet.
Yeah, and where are they? Up north at the moment?
Yeah, they're up north, so I won't tell mum and dad.
Don't worry, we're live on air. They're probably listening.
I hope they are.
So in Patio, I mean, let's talk about this, guys, because it's affecting everybody, of course, at the moment. We all have to be honest what's happening with the COVID situation at the moment. I mean, basically, that's put the brakes on a lot of people.
A lot
of people around the world. I mean, it's affecting everybody. Hopefully soon they're going to start to open it up again and let people in slowly. Of course. But of course, I would imagine you've got local people that come to you at the moment as well, yes?
Yeah, well, I mean, at the moment, there's zero. There's no tourists here. You know, there's a few people left that stayed. There's some expats.
Sure.
So right now, all of our customer base is pretty much just the guys that are either never left, they came on holiday, they didn't want to leave, or expats. But
sometimes on the weekend we get people from Bangkok.
Yeah, we do get people that come down from Bangkok. But yeah, I mean, most of our clientele are tourists, so it's obviously it's hurt the business. It's hurting everything locally.
Absolutely.
Pattaya is just a very touristy city. It relies heavily on tourism.
Yeah, and it will come back. I mean, it's going to come back, and I mean, it will take its time, like everywhere in the world. They're going to open up the doors slowly, and they'll slowly come back.
So what we've done, because we just want to help our artists, help Celebrity Inc., help the expats, anybody local. We're running promotional prices on everything at the moment. Yeah. So I mean, it's the biggest promotion Celebrity Inc.'s done in history.
Yeah.
And
worldwide.
If you're looking to get a tattoo, now is the time to do it.
Okay, all right. We'll give people information on that as well.
Yeah.
At the end of it, we'll put on your link, and we can tell people all about that. I mean, one thing we spoke about on the show the other day, didn't we, Bobby? How Pattaya is opening up and how they're doing all the infrastructure at the moment. There's a lot of building going on at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of roadworks as well.
The roadwork.
And we spoke about the big D coming, didn't we, from America?
Disneyland.
Disneyland is coming, yeah. They brought the land and they're ready to start building.
Where's that?
In Pattaya?
Yeah.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're building a Disneyland here.
Yes, they are, yeah. Yeah, and it's
That's
2
odd.
casinos as well.
Perfect.
Because the casinos, they're going to...
Yes.
They passed a law for that.
They're doing it at the moment. We broke the news the
Wow.
other day on Patio One that Disney have now signed it, and they're going to start 2 buildings.
I'm a card player. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for me.
Why? I mean, what's wrong with that?
Well...
He's a gambler.
Yeah, I'm a gambler. I like to gamble.
There's nothing wrong with gambling.
No, there isn't. You lose, you win.
In moderation.
If you win, there's nothing wrong with it if you win.
Yeah, if you lose, it's get out, isn't it? Huh?
Hello.
So you're going to go for what? You're going to go for the sleeves, and you're going to go for your back, and
Probably.
Probably
like, I don't know. It's just so hard to pinpoint what I want. I have just so many ideas of what I want, and I'm kind of like, what can I do?
But don't you think it's very cool when people sit there and design their own?
That's what I'm doing.
I like that.
Yeah, I tell the artist kind of what I have, what the ideas I have, so then they can kind of personalize a custom design for me.
And I think Matt, that people have to come into your shop with an idea of what they want, because of course there's so many to choose from. It can be mind-boggling, so they've got to know where they're roughly going.
Yeah, someone should just have an idea on either a style that they like or a reference, maybe a couple of different reference photos. This way it kind of gives the artist some creativity or some inspiration to create a custom design. So obviously, if somebody knows kind of what they want, it helps a lot, as opposed to if they just come in and say,
I want a tattoo,
which we do get. We do
Indians
get that a lot.
mostly.
I was going to what?
Indians mostly.
What? So the Indian
They
people
come in and they're just like, I want tattoo, and I'm
I
like,
want a tattoo.
How do they?
They
Hang
say-
on.
you got to do the head bob as well.
Have a listen to this, Bobby. How do they say it?
I want tattoo. But you
I
got to do
want
the
tattoo.
They shake their head.
They do a lot.
But then you say, what do you want? And then they say,
You choose for me.
I don't know, just tattoo.
Oh, you can't do
pick.
that.
Seriously?
Like,
They say
we
you
can't
choose for
tell
me.
you what you want.
How can you choose for them?
Bruv, my style is completely different to what you want. You need to let
course.
me know what you want before I can even suggest, suggestions.
You can choose for me. That
You
is
can
so
choose for me.
dangerous, Bobby.
They're intoxicated when they say that, of course, right?
No, usually not. That's the funny thing.
That's
But not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, going in and saying you can choose whatever you want for me?
Wow.
That would not be good.
That would not.
All right. Close your eyes. Put the blindfold on. See what we can come up with over
That's
here.
not my wife. You can't come on this show. You're not allowed to come on Talking Heads podcast, and you're not allowed to get all this, coming on here and using our facilities and it being in our living room with Uncle Bobby at the end without giving the customers something back. So give me some percentage. Come on. Tell me what we can give my customers out there. Do something for me.
So right now we have, like I said, the biggest promotions going on that we've ever done. We're doing a full back piece for 55,000 baht. This is less than a third probably of what you're going to pay in the West. But anybody that comes in and just mention that you saw just mention Pattaya
Pattaya
1
or Talking Heads.
Just mention Pattaya 1 Talking Heads.
Yeah.
We'll give you 20% off the top.
Okay, all right. So that's another 20% off the top. Yeah,
Off the already promoted prices.
Yeah.
good. That's good, isn't it,
Wow.
Bobby? Eh?
That's
That's
amazing.
really
I feel
good.
like getting one myself now.
You guys
Come
are
on,
awesome.
guys.
Yeah.
I feel like getting a caterpillar.
Oh no.
Where?
I'm not telling you.
It's dangerous. I don't know.
I usually rise to
about pain.
the occasion on this show. You know that, don't you, Bobby?
Rise to the occasion.
Right,
Oh,
rise to-
guys, no.
What? That's good.
So we got 18 years old for age restriction, you were asking.
Oh, there you go.
Thailand.
18.
18.
There we go. So they're 18 in Thailand. So
Okay.
I didn't know that. And I mean, it's just, like I said, some of the stuff we got today for information is just mind-boggling, some of it.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's nice to know,
Good to know where it's come from.
where it's come from and the roots. And sometimes
Yeah.
it's nice just to say it's been a good one. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been fun, yeah. Like I
Sure.
said, pop my cherry today. So
You've popped your cherry.
pop my.
If anybody ever says it to you, whatever you do, Matt, don't go around saying, "When did you first pop your
Dave
cherry?" And you
popped
go,
my-
"Dave, pop my
pop my-
cherry."
Pop my podcast
Oh
cherry.
no. Mine too then.
I don't want them knocking at my door saying, "It's my son." Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been good.
You
It's
can
been
talk.
nice.
You can, can't you? She's good, isn't she? I
Yeah,
can
great.
see why.
Natural.
Are you the hostess down there then?
Pardon?
Are you the hostess?
I'm
would you say?
just talking to everyone all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Never. I wouldn't have thought that.
If you come into the studio and you speak with Sophie, you're not going to leave without a tattoo.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's like, they can't even think about having the tattoo on the back while you're doing it. Sophie just sits there talking to him. Oh, tattoo's finished, by the way. Oh, don't worry about
I
that.
think some people come back just to see Sophie.
I reckon they
Yeah.
would. Yeah, I would come back to see you.
Oh, thank you.
I would get my caterpillar done in stages.
I'll make sure of that.
Guys, thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
so
coming
much.
in. Celebrity Inc., thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you to Uncle Bobby at the end for.
Thank you, guys. You
have
guys
you
are
enjoyed it,
awesome.
Bobby? Have you enjoyed it?
I did, and I might want to get a tattoo, and I'm over 60.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Bobby.
Let's do
much.
it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
guys, thank you very much for coming in the
Thank
studio.
you.
Sophie, Matt, it's been a pleasure to have you in there. Celebrity Inc., there you go, number one tattoos. That's the place to go. We'll put you out there and tell everybody about you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's sign out. Bye-bye.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.